Backstage at Monday Night Raw, the last one before WrestleMania, and Adam Carriker, Chuck Carroll with Fourth and Pain. And Adam, I know that this is one of your favorite guys, so why don't you do the intro?
It's the Miz. He
Yes,
needs
the
no
one and only.
introduction.
Do I really need an introduction? I mean, if you're really going to go for it, I mean, you do the Soldier's Seduction, the Demon of Desire, the Emperor of Excellence, the Personification of Perfection, the Grand Wizard of Lust, the Awesome One, the Miz. How about that? Pretty good, right? I'm good at introducing myself, by the way.
Damn good at that.
I know, I do what I can.
And did you know that this guy, like us, does a football and wrestling show? He just does it on a bigger scale.
I do First and Awesome during the fantasy football season. Or football season, whatever one you prefer. But yeah, it's on Sirius XM, Fantasy Sports, and it's Sirius 210, XM87, and I have a blast with it. I love doing radio. It's so much fun.
Good deals, man. Well, maybe you'll do that when you're through being a WWE superstar. They
say I could, They say I could be the next Howard, and I was like, I don't know if anyone could be the next Howard, but I would definitely follow in the footsteps.
Well, now, we could talk wrestling, but it just seems among the three of us, football seems to be the way to go. Now, how did you do in your fantasy league this year?
This year was the worst year I've ever had in fantasy football. I actually didn't win a league. Every year I've ever played, I've always won at least one league. And this year I was out of it, man. Everyone was getting injured. People weren't doing the things I thought they would do. I had a great wide receiver core group that I thought in the beginning when I first drafted him, I was like, there's no one that's going to be able to touch me. I had Julio Jones, I had Hakeem Nicks, and I had Jordy Nelson as my wide receivers. I was like, my wide receiver 3 is Jordy Nelson? This is pretty good, right? All of them stunk. None of them, it was like they weren't a collected team. Like, one guy would do great, then the next guy would do terrible. Hakeem Nicks did nothing all year. He was brutal the entire year. So I feel like my wide receivers really killed me, and I think going for a quarterback first round was bad. I basically took the best player on the board, and that was Aaron Rodgers at the time. And I think I should have went with a wide receiver because Calvin Johnson was on there, and I should have gotten Calvin. Especially after the year.
Set the receiving record this year for
exactly. Set the receiving record. That was my mistake. I think that was the first mistake I made. Then a bunch of waiver wire brutal mistakes. But yeah, this year won't be the same. This year I plan on definitely getting a lot of people. Only thing is we'd have keeper league, and a lot of people got RG3 in the later rounds, and now he's ready for game one. I see the commercials.
All in.
He's all in for game one, baby.
Well, now another quarterback in the NFC East just signed a hell of a contract. Tony Romo, is he worth all of that money?
I like Tony Romo. I think he's obviously a top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's in the elite. He's definitely not the Aaron Rodgers. I even think, Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are the top guys. But Joe Flacco, how about Joe Flacco getting paid? He's wacko, man. It's like that's why they call him Wacko Flacco, man. One day he's great, the next minute he's terrible. You never know what you're going to get. Granted, in the playoffs he's fantastic and that works, but during the regular season, I barely have him as my backup. Maybe in a quarterback 2 league, then 2 quarterback league that you can take him, but he's always hit or miss with me. And Tony Romo will get you some points up there. He'll definitely get you some points. Granted, he's not going to win you games, poor Dallas Cowboys, but it works.
It works well for us.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, what are your opinions on it, Mr. Redskins D lineman?
He's a good quarterback. He's going to put up a lot of stats. He's going to play well. Personally, I don't enjoy playing against him for one reason. He's going to run all over the place, and then he's going to get rid of the ball right before I hit him. And I don't enjoy expending all that energy just to get tired.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Speaking with The Miz at Monday Night Raw, and I know that we're limited on time, so one question left for you, Miz, and that is the Redskins' outlook for 2013, hamstrung by the salary cap penalty. But how do you see them doing this year? How are they going to fare? Granted, you've got Adam sitting right here, so you got to be kind of nice about it, but are they going to repeat as NFC East champs?
You don't have to be nice.
Ooh, NFC East champs, huh? We're talking about the Redskins, right?
We are
because
talking about the Redskins.
I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan.
Oh, are you?
And as a Cleveland Browns fan, we always tell ourselves that we're going to win every year. We're going to win every year. But you know what the Redskins that was they just had a great offseason last year, I thought. You guys picked up, Garcon, you got Alfred Morris and RG3, and it seemed like they finally started clicking. And it was like the Redskins seem like a team that's going to be that make moves in the off seasons. They know how to draft well, and I think they're an up and coming team that are going to be making some moves. I think the Browns are the type of team that are now starting to make moves. By the way, finally, last year they didn't do anything on free agency. This year we're finally doing stuff on free agency, and I'm hoping that even though I think we have like 5 or 6 draft picks, we get a draft like the Redskins had last year.
Last question is for you. You can ask Adam anything you'd like to do. That's our bit. So now's your chance to ask the NFL player. Turn the table a little
Who's
bit.
your favorite quarterback to sack?
To sack, I'm going to go with Tom Brady because to me he's the best in the game today. Now,
He's the best in the game today, really?
Hold on. I think Robert's the best in the game, but I can't sack my own quarterback. Other than Robert, I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
Really? Why is he the best in the game? Like I've never played against him. I don't know. Is there something about him that basically makes you, like where he looks down the field and you can't figure out where he's going or what he's doing? Because he doesn't seem like a mobile quarterback. He just sits in the pocket.
He cost me a sack last year, and I had him dead to rights. He moved at the exact right time. I went for the ball. He moved the ball at the exact right time and then threw a 60-yard touchdown pass.
Really?
I think that one play right there is the thing that kind of frustrates me about him.
Who's the easiest quarterback to sack?
Well, I mean, that depends on the offensive line.
I feel like
I'll
it's Flacco. I'm not Flacco. I'm sorry, Jay Cutler. I feel like it's Cutler because I feel like that guy gets sacked more than any other quarterback in the entire league, and I feel bad for him because he gets such flack for it. But the guy gets sacked like 30 times. Like it's incredible.
Well, his offensive line gets a lot of flack for that, and they've brought in a couple of guys this year. One of my old Nebraska buddies, Matt Slosson's a pretty good player, so I think that'll help him out.
All right, cool. All right, excellent. Good questions.
With The Miz right before WrestleMania, talking football of all things. Greatly appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Definitely check out WrestleMania April 7th at MetLife Stadium. I plan on wearing green, white, silver, and black. I don't know why, but instead of Jets, Jets, I think they're going to go M-I-Z, Miz.
Like
Hopefully,
it.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I like it.
That's what I'm doing.
We'll be cheering on from
I
home.
think I'm going to do everyone's pose, too. I'm going to do the Tebow. I'm going to do the Victor Cruz for the Giants. I might do the Jets little thing, end zone dance, all the way down to the ring. I'm debating all the stuff that I'm going to do, football oriented.
Well, you still have 6 days to figure it all out.
I do, and then I'm going to take the Intercontinental Championship just to be a champion.
Love it. The Miz, WrestleMania, check it out Sunday. Call your local cable provider. How's that
There
for
you
old
go.
school?
Look at you, perfect.
First and awesome, this is Fourth and Pain. We'll be right back.